What's up guys, Iceman here, and today I'm going to be talking about Gears of War Judgment, DB&O, pros and cons of DB&O not being in Judgment, and also, different features in Judgment that we've never seen before, such as using your primary weapon while using a shield. So, using the boom shield with a primary weapon, I think is really going to make the weapon useful, to be honest. People use the boom shield, last resort to save themselves. Say that they're fully red and they're about to go down, pick up a boom shield real quick to get their health back up. But it's really never been that useful. Nobody really uses the boom shield. So now I think it's going to have a big important role. People may actually value the boom shield. Let's make a push to boom shield. Get that boom shield. So now it's actually going to be a factor in Judgment. Also, you can roll off fucking buildings now. So that's definitely going to be annoying. On that one map where you can actually, it's all rooftops, you can actually jump off the roof. So that's going to be a little bit aggravating, getting in a shoddy battle and, see your enemy just roll off the cliff and actually survive his fall. There is falling damage, so if he is, hurt a lot, he'll probably die. But there's just a lot of things in, the DB&O feature that are good. So let's see, the speed of the gameplay. We're always used to, gameplay being a lot slower with the DB&O. A guy goes down, you have to put an extra few shots into him to get the kill. Now they're just going to fall over and you can go on to the next guy. Also, Gears 1 Gears 1 had no stopping power, so we're used in a rushing aspect, Gears 1's faster than Gears 3. But in overall game aspect, Gears 3 takes the cake because the TDM, people are always respawning, and there's so much more going on. There's just so many more guys to shoot at, just so much more shit flying at your face, and you just got to be on your toes with Gears 3. There's only 4 people in Gears 1. There's 5 for Gears 3, so there's just a lot more to look at when you're playing Gears 3. For Judgment, the whole the spawns. I don't know what they're gonna do with the spawns. Are they gonna spawn right away after they die, or is there gonna be a wait time? Gold Glove and Arctic and all of them probably no. Although it may change from release date, but I'm not sure. There's so much I want to say in this commentary, but just so little time because I rape shit throughout this Torque Bow gameplay. But as you can see, I am playing Torque Bow Tag. If you haven't noticed, it is out indeed on Gears of War 3. So if you guys want to play some Torque Bow Tag, feel free. But with they're also with DB&O not being a factor in Judgment, I think that might help with King of the Hill. So now when say you snipe a guy down across the map, or lancer a guy down across the map, and he's actually in the hill, he's not going to go down and still rack up the time. And I don't know if you guys know, but in Gears 3, when you lock a hill, it stays locked. You don't actually have to stay in the hill to rack up the time, to rack up your score. I don't know what they're going to do with Judgment. Maybe they're going to make you have to stay in the ring, which I think would actually increase the role of, the real main aspect of the King of the Hill is to stay in the hill. In Gears 3, all you had to do was lock the hill and just set up a perimeter around it to hold it down. So I think it would be a lot more interesting to see them actually make King of the Hill where you have to sit inside the ring. Now also with the loadout, there's loadout in Judgment now where you're going to have to pick your primary weapon. So say, everybody on your team wants to use shotgun and rush. Well, I don't know how that's going to work very well if you have, say 2 or 3 guys on the other team that are going to be support fire and they're going to be crossing you. So it's really going to include, a lot of different aspects. There's just so many starting weapons, and it's just a different game. You have an offhand throw with a grenade now, so people are going to be able to pick their grenades between an ink grenade, a smoke grenade, a stem grenade, which is like a revive grenade where you can throw it down at your feet and heal yourself. There's also, your regular grenades as well. So there's just a loadout now. You're going to have a lot more customizations and really, pick your class. It seems like they've changed so much with Gears of War, but it could be a good change. I'm not going to knock it until I actually play it. I want to hear your guys' opinions on all these features and, just really get on your take on what you think about this game. I'm not going to be a big fan of the whole no DB&O, but maybe it might be fun. You never know. That The whole no DBNO thing is definitely going to take out executions. No more cool sniper execution. No more cool jump on them and beat the shit out of them execution. It will eliminate teabagging though. And I know I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I've definitely got on top of a player as I had him down on the ground and dropped my locust dong right on his chin. But I'm not going to be a saint here. I've done that before, but that will eliminate teabagging. So there is pros and there is cons. I want to hear your guys' opinions about this and leave a like. Later, guys.